Friends, every person in life wants to become successful. Everyone wants money, respect, and a life where they never feel the lack of anything. But the truth is, life does not change just by dreaming. Life changes when a person learns to rise above fear and recognize the right opportunities. Many times, destiny comes knocking at our door, but because of fear, doubt, and the opinions of others, we never open that door. Later, we spend our entire lives thinking, if only I had shown a little courage that day. Today's story is about a boy who was given an opportunity by life, but he let it slip away. Years later, he realized that the greatest obstacle in life is not poverty, but the fear that stops a person from even trying. So listen to this story till the end, because somewhere within it, you may find the answer to your own life. Around 10 years ago, a boy named Ethan lived in a small town. His father ran a small grocery shop, and the family's financial condition was not very good. Ever since childhood, Ethan dreamed big. Whenever a luxury car passed through the streets of the town, he would stare at it with admiration. Deep inside, he believed that one day his life would change too, and he would become a successful man. But as he grew older, he began to understand that dreaming is easy, while turning those dreams into reality is much harder. After finishing school, the responsibilities at home increased. There wasn't even enough money to pay for college fees, so Ethan had to leave his studies and start working at a petrol pump in the city. From morning until late at night, he stood there filling fuel into cars. Whether it was scorching heat or heavy rain, he had to do the same work every single day. At the end of the month, he earned just enough to somehow support his family's expenses. But somewhere deep inside him, his big dreams were still alive. One evening, a black Mercedes slowly drove into the petrol station. Ethan had never seen such an expensive car from so close before. He stood there completely amazed. A man around 50 years old stepped out of the car. There was a quiet confidence on his face. He was dressed very simply, but his personality made it clear that he was someone important. He looked at Ethan and said, "Fill it with fuel worth $5,000. As Ethan started filling the tank, his eyes kept going back to the car again and again. He wondered how someone could achieve such success in life. Noticing his curiosity, the man smiled and asked, "What happened? Why are you looking at the car so carefully?" Hesitating slightly, Ethan replied, "Sir, this is my dream car. I also want to do something big in life. I want to own a car like this someday." The man looked at him silently for a few moments. Perhaps he could see both ambition and sincerity in Ethan's eyes. Then he took out a visiting card from his pocket, handed it to Ethan and said, "If you truly want to change your life, come to this address tomorrow." After saying that, the man drove away. For a long time, Ethan kept staring at the card. His heart was filled with both excitement and fear. He felt that maybe this was the opportunity he had been waiting for all his life. But slowly, negative thoughts began to enter his mind. What if it was a scam? What if someone was trying to take advantage of him? He kept wondering why such a successful man would help a poor boy like him. Little by little, his fear grew stronger. And in the end, he did what most people do in life. He threw the card into a nearby dustbin and went back to work. Time passed slowly. Days turned into months, and months turned into years. Nearly 3 years later, Ethan was still working at the same petrol pump. His life looked exactly the same as before. By now, he had almost stopped dreaming altogether. He had started believing that maybe the lives of poor people never truly change. Then one day, another luxurious Mercedes arrived at the station. This car looked even newer and more expensive than the previous one. As always, Ethan stared at it carefully. But when the door opened this time, he was shocked to see who stepped out. It wasn't a wealthy businessman. It was an ordinary young man, almost the same age as him. The young man smiled and said, "Brother, Fill it with fuel worth 10,000. While Ethan was filling the tank, he kept glancing at him curiously. Suddenly, the young man said, "Maybe you don't recognize me?" Confused, Ethan asked, "Have we met before?" The young man smiled again and replied, 3 years ago, a man came here and gave you a visiting card." The color drained from Ethan's face. He immediately asked, "How do you know that?" The young man laughed softly and said, "Because after you left, I found that same card in the dustbin." Ethan stood there speechless. The young man continued, "At that time, I worked here as a cleaner. I picked up the card and went to that address the very next day. In the beginning, I was scared too. But I thought that if I wanted to achieve something big in life, I would have to take risks. That man taught me business, taught me how to work hard, how to communicate with people, and most importantly, how to believe in myself. Everything I have today exists only because I didn't let that opportunity slip away." Ethan lowered his eyes. For the first time, he realized that life had given him an opportunity too, but he had rejected it because of his own fear. That night he returned home, but he could not sleep at all. The same thought kept circling in his mind again and again. If he had gone that day, perhaps his life would have changed too. But that same night, he understood something else as well. Life may not always give a second chance. But if a person truly wants to change, they can create new opportunities for themselves. From the very next day, Ethan decided that he would no longer continue living the same way. Alongside his job, he started learning new skills. At night, he watched videos about business and marketing online, learned how to communicate with people, and began taking small steps forward. People mocked him. Many would say, "You'll spend your whole life filling petrol." But this time, Ethan stopped paying attention to what others said. Because now he understood that before changing life, a person first has to change their mindset. Nearly 4 years later, a new business opened in that same city, and its owner was none other than Ethan himself. The day he drove past that same petrol pump in his new car, there was a different kind of smile on his face. Because now he had finally understood that life gives opportunities to everyone. The only difference is that some people lose them because of fear, while others gather the courage to change their entire lives. Friends, the greatest loss in life does not come from failing, but from never trying at all. Because when you don't even try, you close the door to your own dreams with your own hands. Think about it. If someone never applies for a job at a big company simply because they fear rejection, then the answer is already no. But if that same person gathers the courage to apply, at least they create a chance for their life to change. In the same way, if a small shopkeeper never tries to expand their business because they are afraid of losses, they will remain stuck in the same place forever. But the people who take the first step despite fear are the ones who eventually become an inspiration for others. So whenever life gives you an opportunity, trust your hard work more than your fears and doubts. Because sometimes, just one decision or one opportunity can completely rewrite the story of a person's life. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay connected for more inspiring stories like this. Thank you.